All I hear is talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. If she be down the ride, oh, I bet that. Ooh.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Are you clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Are you feeling irie today? Let's talk. But first, I got a question. It's gonna make you go, I don't know, Papi, I don't know. That's what's gonna happen with this question. Then we'll jump into the video. Why do I talk like this? Before those that complain, oh, go to 4 minutes and 30 seconds. I talk like this because I'm talking to you. I don't want you to think that I feel like I'm better than you or I'm somebody above you. I just get information that you guys share with me and I share it with you. And then I just talk. I talk like I'm talking to some people. You guys, when you watching it live, you start chatting. So it is what it is. You don't like it, fast forward to the part that you want to hear. But here's the question. So I was watching something, reading something, I don't remember, and it said, let me ask you, if you had the opportunity to go back in time to when we didn't have the internet or mobile devices available, how would we exist? Or would that be a good place you'd want to go back to? So then basically, I'm thinking it's a two-part question. Well, honestly, we kind of need... let me ask you, do you think you could survive without the internet or a mobile device? I could. I think that it would actually be healthy. Let me tell you why. Not taking it away entirely, but I think a month here and a month there would actually trigger this. Let me tell you why. For the newer generation that tends to have the phone glued to their hands, to their hips, their face in it 24/7, that don't know how to actually have a conversation with somebody. They claim that they're introverts. No, they just never had the experience to communicate with people. So they're stuck in their phone and they can be Superman on the phone, keyboard warriors or whatever it is, but they've never had the opportunity to formulate any type of human relationships. That's number one, because of the internet and all this other good stuff. Secondly, it tended to destroy a lot of people's self-esteem. You go and you watch the internet all day and you see people doing a lot better than you and you feel like that's where you need to be. You tend to self-judge yourself. But forget all of that. Let's talk about what happens if you didn't have, like my son, he's 8, he has an iPhone, okay? What happens if I took that away? He is now forced to go outside and play in the elements, okay? And for the older generation, you go outside and you be back in the house before when? I see the comments already. Before the street lights turn on, because you out there getting into trouble. The neighbors is whooping you because it takes a community, a village to raise one child, and they send you back. But they don't have that anymore. Kids are glued to the internet. They're glued to the video games. And they don't have, and for us as adults, the internet has destroyed us. You know why? Because we read stuff. We watch these YouTube videos. Don't stop watching me, but we watch these YouTube videos and we no longer can formulate our own opinions or thoughts without it being drilled into our head. This has actually caused the division amongst us all. Think about that. Instead of me having a difference with my neighbor and going to talk about the differences and see where we actually have major similarities, I'm watching something on Fox News, I'm watching something on NBC, and now I've formulated opinion because it's been drilled into my head. And now I can't even look at my neighbor because they have a Biden sticker. I'm like, what kind of or they got a Trump sticker, man. So the news and the readily available information at our fingertips no longer give us the opportunity to build our own character, our own brains, nor think for ourselves and interact with people or have our own thought processes. I know this is something that has nothing to do with the post office, but it was just one of those things where it's like, man, if we went back to those days, my neighbor across the street that I really don't care for because of XYZ, maybe we would be out there talking to each other, sitting out having a beer instead of me stuck on my phone. Think about that for a second. The days of opening a map book and learning how to read a map. Okay, man, I lived in this town all that time. I didn't even know that the next town over was such and such because you never, yep. Anyway, so just food for thought, man. It's just food for thought. I don't know. Do you guys think that it would be something that, you could actually do? I don't know. I mean, 1 month off here, 1 month off there. I think it'd be helpful for us. Cleanse the soul out a little bit, because everything's readily available at our fingertips. Speaking of carriers, you want a chopping block next. I can't, there's no other way to say it. There's no other way to say it. You want a chopping block. I don't understand what's going on. Carriers, y'all were good. Y'all were good. I didn't think this day would come. But let me explain before we continue, okay? This is, I'm guessing, an opinion piece. And I'm going to read it to you and I'll give my little 2 bits of pieces in it and see if it makes sense, okay? Don't you mother friend guys laugh at me. All right, the old man can't see. I've been trying to do this without the glass. I can't even see the screen. Lord. Okay, all right. U.S. Postal Service city letter carriers face cuts under next contract. Ha ha! Next contract. Woo, buddy. For nearly 3 months, city letter carriers of the United States Postal Service have been working without a contract. Damn. The last deal ended on May 20th and a statutory 60-day mediation period ended on July 19th. But the National Association of Letter Carriers Union has continued to meet with USPS for nearly a month without either party declaring an impasse. The latter action would trigger binding arbitration termed interest arbitration as the final step in the process, resulting in the imposition of a new contract on terms almost certainly favorable to the USPS, not to the letter carriers. Understand that. Given that this would deprive workers of the right to vote on their own contract, that would effectively be a government-imposed contract similar to the one enforced last year on the U.S. railroaders. On the other hand, if no impasse is declared, negotiations can continue for a tentative contract leading to a vote by the workers. Where's your president at? Sorry, that was low. But regardless of how the process proceeds, left in the hands of the National Association of Letter Carriers and UPS, the only possible outcome will be an attack on workers' living standards. Y'all don't believe me? The experience of the rural letter carriers under the National Rural Letter Carriers Association is instructive. Under the new method for calculating their wages, Rural Carrier Route Evaluation and Compensation System, the RECS, rural letter carriers have seen their pay slashed by as much as $20,000 a year with fewer days off. Y'all stay with me because we're going to talk about what they've been doing, and I don't know if you guys even knew. Why did it look so goofy? Y'all can see my eyes. Jeez. The massive wage cuts were not a product of a glitch in the new system. It was implemented as part of the massive restructuring plan authorized by Postmaster General Louis DeJoy. In order to accomplish this, massive cost cutting is necessary. DeJoy has said as many as 50,000 jobs will be lost and 100,000 carrier routes changed and adjusted in 3 years. City carriers, this is where you guys listen up, face similar changes as the rural carriers implemented in the name of efficiency. This includes a new method of route evaluation. Y'all been talking about they need to reevaluate my route. Careful what you ask for. This includes a new method of route evaluation involving invasive surveillance technology to speed up and discipline letter carriers. Remember I did a video a while ago and said they were going to put these things in y'all vehicles? Remember that? Y'all remember that? You don't believe me? Go back and watch it. I said they putting all these things in your vehicles, and you guys like, oh, they track us already. No, they putting things in your vehicles. Every postal vehicle. I tried to tell you. Okay? Now, all right. Called technology, integrated alternative route evaluation and adjustment process. TREAP. It was adopted in 2 memorandums of understanding with the National Association of Letter Carriers on May 10th, 2022, for the duration of 2022 and 2023. So this was adopted. Y'all should have known about this if you're carriers. If you were going to your union meetings, you would have known about it, right? Your union people should have told you about it. Man, my eyes look silly. This was implemented prior to the new contract. You ready for this? The scanner and GPS technology that is central to TREAP tracks every movement of the city carriers during the workday. Y'all like, that's nothing new. It's called DSR, standing for Digital Street Review. DSR tracks every second of a carrier's activities and subjects them to disciplinary charges for stationary events. Remember the guy that passed away not too long ago for the heat for stationary event? Stationary events are defined as any time when productivity is interrupted. Therefore, stationary events would include stopping for 45 seconds to hydrate with a cool drink of water on a hot day, bathroom stops, and stopping to exchange greetings with a patron on the route. This was likely in the disciplinary, I'm just reading the whole thing. Disciplinary system used against Eugene Gates, a 36-year carrier in Dallas. The new monitoring system claimed he committed at least 1 hour and 15 minutes of stationary events that interrupted productivity. You remember a guy that passed away in Texas? The new monitoring system claimed he committed 1 hour and 15 minutes of stationary events that interrupted their productivity. We don't want to talk about him passing away. Anyway, sorting and delivery centers are also being set up as part of a spoke and wheel delivery network modeled on the Amazon package delivery system. Letter carriers are being forced to leave post office they have worked at their working lives and migrate to centralized facilities wherever USPS chooses, usually at a great distance. The SNDC will be much larger, centralized facility, potentially consolidating dozens of post offices with hundreds of routes. The routes will be re-evaluated and changed according to TREAP. The end result is that carriers' unpaid commutes will be longer, their working days will be longer, and more carriers will not finish their routes before dark. Again, this is an opinion piece, but I can see what he's talking about. I think they're just going to break the routes down. There's an interview, blah, 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 blah. Here we go. Despite the fact that no new contract agreement yet officially exists, the National Association of Letter Carriers monthly postal record magazine for August has come out preemptively defending it. The cover story claims there will be no post office closures or employee layoffs as part of our SNDC rollouts. In reality, over a year ago, Postmaster DeJoy, speaking to the American Enterprise Institute, said that 19,000 post offices would be reduced to 12,000 or 13,000 by consolidating them into SNDCs. He went on to state, to get break even, I think we need to get 50,000 people out of the organization. Now, I said that by attrition. That was my opinion. But man, my eyes look goofy. Don't y'all laugh at me. Jeez. But I think that's by attrition. But if this is all context together, 50,000 carriers. The postal record promotes the new plan in a glossy cover story inside of a 5-page spread. The title is Delivering for America Letter Carriers, Involvement with USPS's 10-year plan. It tells city carriers how they will be forced to move away from their post offices to the mandated SNDC locations under the contract, Article 12 of the existing contract. Y'all union did this to you. It presents DeJoy and USPS Delivering for America as the unchallengeable, undoubted restructuring plan will govern the future of USPS and all city carriers. In reality, workers can fight back, but only by taking their fight out of the control of the National Association Letter Carriers bureaucracy. This means forming a new alternative structure that workers control. A USPS rank and file committee to fight against post office closures, job losses, and massive wage cuts. This was a deep article. Jay, you gonna leave us the article? I'm not gonna leave it in there. But you can look on WSWS.org. That's WSWS.org. All right, so you can read this article. It is very, very interesting. All right. And what do you think? I mean, this was a longer, sheesh. There we go. This was a longer video than I usually do, but it's definitely informative. It's a different perspective. And again, this is about putting pieces of that puzzle together. I don't know what to think about it, but I'm sure there's some carriers out there. Why are you talking about leaving the union? No, that's not what they said. Rewind the video, listen to what I said again. But I totally agree that there is a lot of, we don't get enough information. That's just it. At the end of the day, we don't have the information necessary in order to make educated decisions. And the only way for you to get the information necessary is for you to be semi-involved. However you can. Ask 1,000 questions. Get the information, then make educated decisions. I said this for years. Get the information so that you can say, you know what? I don't feel, Mr. Representative of the union, that you are representing us the right way. I don't feel you're fighting for us the right way. I think you need to be voted out. Get people in there that's going to fight for your rights. This is for every union. Fight for what you need. Fight for what you deserve. Don't fight for unrealistic things. We need 2-hour lunch breaks. No, fight for realistic things, okay? And I'm going to give you guys some more information. All right, this is JH, and thank you for Mr. Such and Such that sent this to me. You know who you are, brother. Boom, we out.